Well, that was embarrassing as hell. The Mavericks dropped to 0-2 after a loss to the Wizards at home. We'll break down all of the ugly coming up next in the DLLS Mavs postgame show. Welcome to the DLLS Mavs post-game show powered by Michelob Ultra and Game Time. With Michelob Ultra, cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra at 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's a superior smooth taste. We're playing for Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the NBA, and by Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DLLS for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. WTF. Because the Mavericks lose at home 117-107 in embarrassing fashion to drop to 0-2 on the season as the Washington Wizards come in and get their first win of the 25-26 campaign, as the Mavericks now drop to 0-2 on their season-long 5-game homestand. As the Dallas Mavericks, Bobby, a turnover-filled fest. The Mavericks tried to make it a game in the fourth quarter. Cooper Flagg put on a show. Unfortunately, 3 turnovers. Anthony Davis missing a couple of free throws when the Mavericks had a chance to cut it to 2 with just over 5 minutes left. And the Wizards come in. The Wizards come in and beat the Dallas Mavericks.
I said on the pregame show, and I was not doing that to exaggerate or to be hyperbolic or to set you up or prime you or whatever. I said that this is probably your easiest game on the schedule all season. Now, who knows what kind of year the Wizards have? Maybe they're going to go on and win 35 games. Heck, maybe they'll win 40 or 42 and they'll make the play-in. Maybe they'll even make the playoffs. We don't know. The rest is still unwritten. But the Wizards are likely going to have a bottom 3 record in the league this year. And they came in and outside of the first about 5.5 to 8 minutes of the game, they curb stomped the Mavs.
Put belt to ass again.
The Mavs led by 14 points in the first quarter.
That's right.
They trailed by as many as 17. They dropped the game at home by double digits to one of the worst teams in the NBA. Through 2 games, they have committed 37 turnovers.
Oh.
They are, I cannot add up the number of misses. They were 10 of 34 from 3 tonight. They were 9 of 21 the other night. They could not bring the ball up the floor. They couldn't get a stop. They couldn't get enough rebounds. Their bench has been outscored 2 out of 2 games. And they do not look like the kind of team that is going to be competitive at all this season. Now, it's only 2 games. A lot can change. But if they turned it over about 5 times before even getting the ball across midcourt against the Wizards, imagine what it's going to look like on Monday against OKC. This team has, unfortunately, it was a tough night for my guy, Ryan Nembhard. So I want to exclude him off vibes alone. But this team has no competent guard play right now. Brandon Williams is in training camp mode. D'Angelo Russell.
They'd say the hell with D'Angelo Russell in the second half.
JaVale McGee lasted longer than D'Lo. They have no guard play. This is supposed to be the best front court in the NBA. Gafford's out, and AD, we'll talk about him. It's a bad team right now, man. It is a bad team right now. I also want to say it is omega storming in Dallas right now. In the past, whenever there's been a little too much electricity in the air, sometimes our internet will dip in and out. So if for whatever reason the stream drops, just refresh. It'll probably come on shortly after. But win, lose, or draw, this whole thing will be safely uploaded to YouTube. So you will get to experience this entire show.
Just an abysmal performance in a number of ways. I mean, 21 turnovers. PJ Washington alone had 8 turnovers in this game. You were outscored from the three-point line 45-30. The Wizards made 15 three-pointers. The Mavericks shot an abysmal 43% from the field, shot an abysmal 29.4%, gave up an abysmal 41 made field goals to a Wizards team that saw Keyshawn George go, check this out, boys and girls, 11 of 15 from the field, 7 of 9 for downtown, and a career-high 34 points for Washington tonight. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis goes for 27 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, had 2 steals and 2 blocks, but he also had 5 turnovers in this game. The Wizards bench in the in the second quarter, outscored the Mavericks bench. Check this out, Bobby. 21-0.
Dude, that second quarter was an acid trip. That was unbelievable.
It was unreal.
The Wizards took, and I say this with love because that was entertaining as hell to watch. They take some of the worst shots I've ever seen in my life. Literally right out of the gate, Bub Carrington takes one of the most horrifyingly bad transition pull-up threes ever. And I'm laughing, and once I finally stopped laughing, I realized that he was lining up to shoot free throws because AD fouled him from behind on a pull-up 3 in transition. And that was kind of a microcosm of the whole night. This game was again, so many times they turned the ball over like on an outlet pass or just dribbling it off their leg or just so many like blooper reel kinds of turnovers and mistakes on both ends of the floor, detail-oriented stuff. And,
by the way,
you really take for granted how great players take care of all the details. And the Mavs miss Kyrie so much right now. I can't even put it into words.
By the way, real quick, as you were going through that, just got a message that Jason Kidd has still not approached the media yet. After this
we got a team meeting after the second game.
we might have team meetings happening. Who knows? But Jason Kidd still has not
met
with the media just yet.
That is not a storm siren, folks. That is the panic alarm.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sounding it. We're at a 7 out of 10 already, KG. It is October.
What's the DEF CONs? 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the elevation of those? I forget. DEF CON.
We're at like 4 at least.
Yeah.
I don't know how high it goes.
I don't know how high it goes, but we getting there.
We're 2 minutes to midnight on the nuclear clock.
Yeah, we're getting there. The media is still awaiting Jason Kidd's arrival to speak to the media. Another way to slice how pathetic this was. Remember how we talked about in the game against the Spurs? You got dominated on the boards. In tonight's game against the Wizards, you were tied 48-48 in the rebounding department.
We have an update. This is an important one.
Okay.
So Let's Joe Fishing in the chat.
The debate, baby.
No, so in pregame, Let's Joe Fishing joins and says, I'm at the hospital.
That's right.
Expecting a baby to be born tonight. But Let's Joe Fishing says, I'm here to give an update. No baby yet. Glad my son didn't have to be born during that embarrassing game.
Congrats.
Your son is a ball knower.
Wow.
Your son was like, spare me this. I'll show up later.
Should I do the thing and respond to Sakura's comment? Should I do the thing real quick?
What?
The Lakers are leading at halftime, and Luka's got 32 at the half.
Oh, my God. Yeah, there were comments saying the Mavs miss Luka too, not just Kyrie. And I agree.
They miss Kyrie.
They obviously miss Luka as well, but like Kyrie's on the team. They really needed Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, they miss Kyrie.
But if you're in a situation, let's be honest, if you're in a situation whenever the rest of your team pretty much is, Gafford, your backup center, okay, whatever. If you need Kyrie to get past Washington at home,
you're in deep.
Your team is not good, dude. Your team is not good.
No, not at all. And look, give Cooper Flagg, who came alive in that fourth quarter, was trying to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat as much as he could. But as we saw as the fourth quarter went on, the turnover problem just continued to rear its ugly head. You're asking the 18-year-old to try and win you a basketball game. And, oh, by the way, handle the basketball in pressure situations for the first time at the NBA level. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You say, Kevin, where's the deep analysis? Ain't none right now. You're asking the 18-year-old to go get it for you on offense in the fourth quarter, try to do his best. Couldn't bring the ball up because he was dealing with pressure, turning the ball over. You couldn't get any help from your other teammates because they was turning the damn ball over too much too. It's inexcusable the way that this team has decided, at least initially, to go about solving the point guard situation. As I said about 5 minutes ago, they went to hell with D'Angelo Russell in the second half. He played 9 minutes in the first half. He didn't see the floor at all in the second half for this team. They've got a real problem in terms of handling the ball, and just simple bringing the ball up past half court is a problem for this team. It's not good when you've got to ask the 18-year-old to do what he was trying to do in terms of handling the ball and trying to make it happen in the fourth quarter.
Well, he's not a point guard.
He's not a point guard.
He's not a point guard. But they don't have another one. Brandon Williams, I think, and I maintain this, that Brandon Williams, I think, is their best player on the team at being able to get to a spot, use his quickness, his speed, his agility, his ball handling ability to break down the defense and get in the lane and make something happen from there. But he didn't play in the preseason at all. And so he's trying to find his footing. You know what I mean? He did not look very good tonight. I got to keep it real with you there. But the panic meter alarm sound siren thing is kind of a joke. But the reason that, I addressed this on the pregame a little bit, but I decided during the game, let's go all the way back since the year 2000. So starting with that 2000-2001 season, teams that start 0-2, 59 of those teams have gone on to make the playoffs. 132 of those teams have gone on to miss the playoffs. So roughly only 30% of teams that start 0-2 go on to make the playoffs. Now, starting 0-2 is not a predictive thing. It's not saying like, oh, well, you're probably not going to make it. It's more of a reflective thing. If your team is 0-2, usually your team it's kind of stinky. But in recent years, the teams that have started 0-2 to go on to make the playoffs, last year, Denver did, and the Pistons did. The Pistons snuck in. I think they were, the 6th seed? Right?
Yeah, there you go.
But they did make it. No teams that started 0-2 in 23-24 made the playoffs. 4 teams did in 22-23. So over the last 3 seasons, only 6 times has a team that started 0-2 gone on to make it. So it's, again, and it's not like the Mavs' first 2 games were against like the Knicks and the Thunder. They were against the Spurs and the Wizards, and there's a chance that neither of those teams makes the playoffs.
Oh boy, a couple other numbers from
the double digits to both of them at home.
At home
to both of them.
Yeah. By the way, Klay Thompson played a grand total of 4 minutes and 46 seconds in the second half. D'Angelo Russell didn't play a single solitary second in the second half at all. You knew things were dire when Jason Kidd looked down at his bench and said, "Hey, Jaden, come over here, man. Why don't you come over here and try to get some offensive spark going for this team?"
He made some shots.
He made a couple shots, but again, the overall point being, looking down to Jaden Hardy to try to get you some offense against the Wizards is not a formula that you would think you would need to go to in any point in a game like this. Give credit to Keyshawn George, who was absolutely phenomenal in this game with 16 points in that second half. On the 17 minutes that he played, he was all over the place. Went 7 of 9 from downtown, but at the same time, a highly, highly disappointing loss and start for a team. And we've said it throughout, before we take our first break, we said throughout the offseason, what was the thing you kept lamenting? You've got to get off to a fast start. You have to get off to a fast start.
Don't want to be chasing all year long, man.
And this is about as poor of a way you could start a season with the kind of anticipation that the Mavericks had coming into it, and allowing Washington to come into your house and beat you the way that they did.
I want to shout out Classic Sting Lovers super chat that just happened. So $1.99. What tier is DLLS Mavs Die Hard counseling sessions? Die Hard Classic Sting Lover. His signature is on the pillar way high up. I can't reach as high as his signature is.
He probably could have got a rebound or two tonight.
Counseling sessions are free, baby. We do it for an hour every single post-game show, and at this rate, there's going to be a lot of those this year.
Unreal start. Let's take our first break here on the...
Appreciate the super.
Yes, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's take our first break here on our post-game show. When we come back, more of what was the ugly, despite an 18-year-old trying to play Superman in the fourth quarter. We'll break it all down next.
Well, Kevin, I'm looking at the copy here for the Michelob Ultra ad read, and it says something about the delicious taste of victory. Now, I don't know anything about that, all right, but I do know about the delicious taste of Mich Ultra, and it's pretty superior, like winning might be. You can cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra at 2.6 carbs and only 95 calories. It is a superior, smooth taste worth playing for. It is the official beer sponsor of the NBA, as well as the official sponsor of the DLLS Mavs podcast. It is very yummy. I enjoyed one during the game myself. I'm going to enjoy one on the post-game show. And unlike other beers that might be really heavy and packed with calories, you're not going to feel groggy after this and stuffed. You're not going to deal with all that bloating and just like have a hard time sleeping or any of that. No, this is really nice, really smooth, really good. Again, Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. A superior taste worth playing for, the official beer sponsor of the NBA.
Do you feel it? And no, I'm not talking about the pain of tonight's loss. It is, of course, the leaves are changing. It is the temperatures are dropping, and the pumpkin spice lattes for our guy Bobby Carella are brewing. Fall is
not a pumpkin guy.
Fall is officially upon us. There's no better place to celebrate than at Globe Life Field for the annual Fall Festival on November the 2nd. The fan favorite event is back for a second straight year with plenty of new fall themed activities to enjoy, including face painting, especially if you want to look like a clown after the Mavericks lose tonight. Trick or treat stations, run the bases, carnival games, and much more, all directly on the field. The event runs from 12 to 4 p.m. and there will be a costume parade every hour, so be sure to wear your best Halloween costume. You could dress up like your favorite wizard after tonight's game as well. Don't miss out on the fall event of the year at the home of the Texas Rangers, of course. Tickets are on sale now at globelifefield.com/fall festival. That's globelifefield.com/fall festival.
That was a good one.
Appreciate all of you hanging out with us here on the DLLS Mavs post-game show after the Mavericks lose by double digits, 117 to 107. Shout out to the over 500 of you watching us live right now.
Let it out, man. Let us know. How are you feeling? Do you think it's too early to panic, or are you similarly sounding the alarms? Because I need to get earmuffs. The alarm is getting pretty loud around here.
Well, let's see how loud with our super chats. Classic Stain Lover dropping all the cash. Let's start with the $1.99. It didn't have to be this way.
You're right.
$1.99 again from Classic Stain Lover. Say it with me. Defense wins championships.
I hate it.
Thank you so much.
Tanner, how do we ban a phrase?
Fortune favors the bold.
Ban that one too.
Matt with a $4.99 super chat. Watching offense run through AD is like watching Carson Wentz at quarterback for the Vikings last night. Kid asleep at the wheel. AD at the 4 flag at point guard needs to end now.
I will say tonight, AD played a lot of 5.
He did.
It didn't obviously. I mean, it worked okay. It didn't work very great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. It did not work very well. Nothing is working very well right now. That's for sure.
Classic Stain Lover said, I'm through. I'm a Lakers fan now. I just threw up, by the way. Farhan with the $9.99 super chat. AD out of shape and slow. Hilarious. If it wasn't my team, Mavericks can't be fixed by anyone on the roster. We had the best creator and scorer in the world, and now every half-court possession is a prayer. Living on a prayer.
I like this Oscar comment. It's probably
take my hand.
It says, "Will this be a bell ring?" Lost last season.
Oh no, well, the bell.
I kind of hope it will.
Living on a prayer.
Because that was like our lowest point.
Yeah, maybe they'll bounce back and
bell ring,
maybe they'll be able to climb out of this hole and beat the Raptors on Sunday. Yeah. So I going back to that super chat talking about had the best creator and now every half court shot. I mean, that lets you know, man, it's one of these things where like there are many things in life. It's not just basketball, but there's so many things where you don't really understand and appreciate what you have until it's not there anymore. It's almost like you almost take it for granted. You know, when you have, especially with two of them, you had Luka and Kyrie, right? I mean, this is one of the best backcourts in the history of the league, in the history of the sport. Every time down the floor, they got a good shot. Like, really, the only time they didn't get a good shot is if one of them was trying to get so fancy that they ran out of time, or Luka tried a no look, behind the back, between the leg, like with his left hand, and it went out of bounds a little bit or something. They got a good shot almost every time. And even with one of them, I mean, last year after the trade, the Mavs would still generate a lot of good looks because Kyrie is just that good. But all of a sudden, you remove those guys from the situation. What just came so second nature, what came so easy, almost like you took it for granted. Those guys are walking mismatch creators, walking advantage creators. Wherever they go, two guys and three sets of eyes follow. And there's nobody on the team right now that forces the defense to overreact.
Mm-hmm.
AD, and I'm not picking on AD when I say this, but AD had 27 points tonight, and it felt empty, like it felt hollow. And that is particularly important to me because so many times, and I'm not trying to start a fight or whatever, but like so many times Luka would have 37, 14, and 11, and the Mavs would lose or they'd win or whatever. And, the haters and the naysayers would say, well, it's just empty stats. It's not that big. Like he's just chasing stats or whatever. He never had an empty 27-point game, and Kyrie never has an empty 27-point game because those guys bend to the defense. They force coaches to try stuff. They force double teams. They force teams will overreact to prevent those guys from getting their shots off. Nobody is overreacting for Anthony Davis. No one is overreacting for Cooper Flagg. No one is overreacting for Clay or for PJ or for Lively or Max Christie or Najee Marshall or Jaden Hardy or anyone else on this team right now. Teams can just sit in their base defense against the Mavs and force bad shots for the most part. The Mavs' shot quality, there's a stat called quantified shot quality against the Spurs, was their lowest in a game in 7 years. Okay. That is an estimation of if the average player took this shot based on location on the floor, closest defender, time left on the shot clock, all of that stuff, number of dribble, things like that. Contextualizing the shot. It was their worst shot quality in a game in 7 seasons. If I had to guess, their shots tonight were slightly better quality, but still probably below average relative to what we're used to over the last 7 years. And that is going to be the norm until Kyrie comes back. They do not have anyone on the team that can force the defense to overreact. It would not surprise me, honestly, if the Mavs are a bottom 5 or maybe even bottom 3 team in number of double teams faced this year, because teams just don't have to do any of that stuff. They don't have to bring out the gimmicks in order to stop the Mavs.
Hey, Kevin, just real quick.
Yeah.
I know you'll love this. Kid, apparently, this is according to Mike Curtis. Kid said guarding the ball and fouling three-point shooters are their main defensive woes. So I knew you would love that quote from Kid.
He sees the vision.
Like, just stop doing that. Like, we've talked about it on the show. The NBA is emphasizing the high five rule this year. You cannot foul three-point shooters. You cannot foul jump shooters this year. It is going to be heavily officiated this year. So if the Mavericks can get out of their own way and stop fouling jump shooters, especially three-point shooters, they'll be a little bit better defensively. But that is a point of emphasis this year. Every single team knows it. High five rule. It's going to be emphasized. And the Mavericks continue to foul jump shooters. And I will say I thought the one continuation where the three-pointer was made and PJ was trying to run through a screen, got called for a defensive foul, and they wound up awarding the three-pointer. I thought that was a little bit of a shaky call, and wound up having the Wizards up 9, going deeper into the fourth quarter. But yeah, you can't foul jump shooters. It's just it's inexcusable, period. But especially now with the emphasis when it comes to the high five rule so far this year.
This is an important point, too. So John in the chat, John Crabtree, says, you guys were overhyping Flagg when he was drafted. Kind of. I mean, let's be honest. 18-5-5, if he averages that's a pretty good player.
The 18-year-old going for 18-5-5, but not half bad.
But I would say it's only 2 games. Everything is only 2 games. The panic alarm is sounding, but it's only 2 games. I would say most of his offensive miscues through 2 games have come directly as a result of him not being able to play point guard.
That's right.
That I'm not judging him for that. And I said that right out of the freaking gate. I said that in May, dude. After they won the lottery, and I said it in June, and I said it in July, and I said it in August, September, and October, and I'm saying it again right now. That guy should not be playing point guard. Agreed. If I were the coach, I would not ask that of him. All I would do is say, Coop, go get what you can, fit in, assert yourself, win it.
Get in when
it makes sense.
Yes.
And go bust your ass on defense every single possession and run the floor and offense.
100%.
That's what I would be saying to him. Anything more than that, I think, is almost doing a disservice to him. Granted, tonight he looked way better than he did 2 nights ago.
He did.
And, you know, it might not be that on Sunday he's going to look way better than he did tonight. Like he might have a bad game or he might have an incredible game or somewhere in between. But he's playing out of position. And so as the guy that said that he's a generational prospect, that he's going to be incredible, and I'm trying to get people excited for him or whatever, I was also the same guy saying he is not a point guard. I was arguing with Marc Stein about that, arguing with Tim about that. I was asserting, whatever, being a buzzkill and a wet blanket for a lot of Mavs fans, but like he's not a point guard. He's not a point guard right now. Maybe he will be one day, but he is not right now.
Yeah, and asking him as an 18-year-old to come in and have that type of burden on a team where you actually do have point guards on this team, to me, is a little bit unfair. As you mentioned, going for 18, 5, and 5, putting the team on his back offensively at points in the fourth quarter. He was willing this team from an offensive standpoint at times. But even the Mavericks, Max Christie, when we met with him the other day, said out loud, we're asking him to do a lot. This is not his natural position, but he's going to be playing point guard for us most of the time. The team acknowledges that they are playing the player out of position right now, and it's not his natural spot. So if the team recognizes it, the coach obviously is trying to put him in positions to be able to facilitate and handle things. It's just the experiment right now is not going well. And in a lot of ways, I thought when they brought in D'Angelo Russell, it'd be like, okay, look, he's an experienced player at that position. Let him help facilitate and run offense. The fact that he did not, in a game against the Wizards, did not play a single second in the second half at all tells you a lot already about what they may feel about what their point guard position looks and feels like, because to me, that is unbelievable that they've already abandoned in a game against a team as a quality opponent like the Wizards.
Did he say anything about that in postgame?
Well, I mean, Abby posted this. I didn't hear the quote, but Abby said that he said they're shorthanded at point guard, which it's funny. That's why I have in the ticker. Apparently, he said they're shorthanded.
Did he like
point
get
guard.
hurt or something?
Oh no, I don't know. I thought it was more of like
he said they're shorthanded at point guard.
Well, they are.
That's the. We haven't heard.
Kyrie is hurt. Yes, they're shorthanded.
We can get further.
Kyrie is one of the best players in the league, and he's out. Obviously, they're shorthanded.
It's funny to say that when you don't play when you're the guy you signed to be your point guard like the entire second half.
You literally signed that dude to play point guard.
Well, that's the thing. He did not sign him.
Yes.
He didn't sign him.
He's just, what's the grocery quote again? He didn't get the groceries.
I don't know.
Mind. Okay.
I know it. Yes.
Yeah, I had
Bill Parcells talked about, look, if you're going to let me, do the thing, you got to let me,
Okay. I thought Kid did that one.
I spent $200 at the grocery store the other day, and I didn't even buy anything. Like, I was so flummoxed.
That's a hell of a word.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Now, J-Kid's choice was not to sign D'Angelo Russell. It is J-Kid's choice to play Flagg at the 1. I disagree with. Let me be clear. I don't like either of those decisions. I was very loud about not wanting D'Lo on this team and wanting the Mavs to actually go try to acquire a real starting caliber point guard via trade, but that didn't happen. The roster is what it is at this point. It is very, very difficult for them to make moves because they're hard capped and they don't have much wiggle room. So any trade they make, they'd have to take on less money. Teams generally don't make trades until December or January or really February anyway. So it's going to be this group. So they're going to have to figure it out, dude. But I mean, I'm looking at the schedule right now, and they got several back-to-backs coming up in the next few weeks against actual good teams.
If I'm a Mavericks point guard and I heard that tonight from Jason Kidd, I'm taking that personally. Like, I get it. Kyrie Irving is injured. But to know the players that play the actual point guard position, and for my head coach to walk up to the podium and say we are shorthanded at point guard, I'd be taking that personally.
How is MJTX saying there's corporate Bobby defending the Mavs? What show are you watching, dude?
You're a shield for the Mavs.
Are you watching a stream from the finals year and like commenting in this one, brother? I just said J Kid is playing flag at the wrong position and that Nico signed a bad player. What are you talking about, dude?
That is wow. Look,
I said sound the panic alarm because they lost. And I said they're not going to make the playoffs. I picked them to finish 8th. I said they're bad. What do you want from me?
Let's take our...
I was in corporate when I worked there. The team was just good. They suck right now. Holy moly.
Go break before Bobby comes.
What does it take? What do I have to do to shed that unwarranted reputation?
Okay.
Go to break.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season, this basketball season, this hockey season, or really any sport. Because on Prize Picks, it is good to be right. On Prize Picks, you choose between 2 and 6 players to record more or less than their projected stats. They also have a flex play, which I really should have used on both of my picks.
You probably could have used it tonight.
On the flex play, if you get all of your picks except for one correct, you still win. So I'd be undefeated right now if I chose the flex play, but I'm an absolute dum-dum. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code DLLS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that is code DLLS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineups. You don't have to use all 50 of those bucks on one play. You can use it for on however many lineups you see fit on Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
My wife and I, we have financial goals. We have goals for our finances when it comes to credit cards, how we want to pay our bills, how we want to manage the day-to-day life when it comes to our finances. Monarch Money is your point guard to be able to help you do that. With Monarch Money, you can feel organized and confident in your finances. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or on your phone. With Monarch Money, it's built for people with busy lives. You're busy, I'm busy, but at the same time, if you put out organizing your finances, Monarch Money is there for you. It isn't just a finance app, it's a tool for real professionals and experts that actually love it as well. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code DLLS at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DLLS. Get you a point guard in Monarch Money today.
Mav should have used Monarch Money to save some more money over the summer.
Jeez, man. We appreciate all of you joining us here. In fact, we've got over 600 of you watching us live right now. So shout out to all of you.
Tickos.
Y'all are.
In a good way.
Yeah, kind of like the Mavs point guard position. Let's get to some more super chats here on the...
We also have Ron.
Yes, I'm going to get to a couple of those, then we'll bring Ron in. We left off with... y'all are just rolling them in. Here we are. Yes, right there. Classic Stain Lover. Ozzy D, yes, that's right. $1.99 super chat. If healthy, we may still miss the playoffs. Yikes.
It's true, unfortunately.
JK Thiessen 86 with the $1.99 super chat. Classic fake comeback into a horrendous loss. And
it was a very real comeback. They went 4 minutes without a turnover, and they actually scored.
They had a chance to get within 2, and AD missed 2 free throws and had a turnover.
Yeah, he went 1 for 4 from the line.
And that was after Cooper went full Superman and scored 6 straight points, including what was a hell of a dribble drive to the basket for a dunk that got the crowd electrified inside the American Airlines Center. Speaking of the AAC, let's go out to the AAC right now and welcome in our DLLS Mavs beat writer. He knows sports.
We really set him up, didn't we?
We did.
We're like, hey, this is a great beat. You should take this job, Ron. It's going to be fun.
That's right. It is still as fun because he's with us.
Yeah. Very interesting game where the Wizards lead by over 15 points at different points.
Hold on, let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Your politically correct use of the word interesting was very good there. I like what you did there. I like what you're doing, what you got going on right now.
Yeah, for the Mavs fans, again, we hear fire Nico chants break out late in the fourth quarter. I mean, you hear people yelling at Anthony Davis because he's dropping passes and there's turnovers. The vibes are very low at the American Airlines Center, just to be completely honest. I'm in the press conference room waiting over 15 minutes for Coach Kidd to come, and Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg don't come to the press conference room. We have to go to their lockers for an interview. The vibes are just not good right now at the American Airlines Center at all.
What did Kidd have to say with his post-game remarks?
Well, he's usually pretty monotone. He talked about, the team's point guard situation. We asked about D'Angelo Russell, who played less than 10 minutes. He says he needs to just see more consistency and more of a rhythm for D'Lo to be in, for him to get more time. My only pushback on that would be he's never been a consistent player. So, like, rhythm and D'Angelo Russell is almost like asking him to do something he's never done, like, ever. So it seems like he's almost being set up to fail in some ways. He said basically if Ryan Hart is active, he's going to play because him being active is going to count as a game towards his two-way thing. So that's kind of, I guess, a tidbit for Mavs fans to know. If Ryan Hart is suited up and is active, he probably will at least play some because they don't want to just waste a game from Ryan Hart, which is why he got some minutes, even though he didn't play as much. We didn't get a chance to really talk about Klay Thompson, but Klay Thompson has, continued to struggle. It seemed like without the system or without an elite playmaker, he's having a tough time finding open shots. And then, of course, Keyshawn George had a career high on the Dallas Mavericks, 34 points.
You don't want to be that
Jason,
team.
can you say,
Yeah.
No
disrespect. You don't want to
disrespect.
be that team that gives the second-year player kind of his career high game. Seems like a good player and everything, but he didn't do anything, at least from on the floor, that seemed to be that special. This is not a Wemby level talent that was destroying the Dallas Mavericks. This is a good player that might be breaking out, but they are going to have to do something if Keyshawn George is scoring 34 points.
Oh my God.
A couple numbers that stand out, and over the weekend we're going to have to just, I don't know what the hell's going on with Klay Thompson, but his first two games is not cutting it right now. We'll get to that later. But the two numbers that stick out to me, because folks was jumping in my mentions about this one. So the Mavericks get outscored bench points wise, 47-28. And we have been lauding about the idea of how good this bench can be. Yes, I know Daniel Gafford is not available right now. Kyrie Irving is obviously continue to be out. Dante X is not available either. This bench has been giving them close to nothing. In fact, they literally gave them 0 in the second quarter when they were outscored 21-0 in that department, and that's when the game flipped in that second quarter. Your thoughts on the lack of bench production through two games so far for this team?
I've been pretty disappointed in Najee Marshall. That's a player that when I took this job, I said, you know what? The Mavs have Najee Marshall, man.
Choose your words carefully.
He's gonna be a really
We're
good
a pro
player.
Najee program. We're a pro Najee program.
I have to be honest to the Mavs fans. The knife has not been knifing through the lane like how I thought when I took the job. I thought he would be one of the best kind of bench players in the league. And to me, his impact really has not been felt on the offensive end. And we all know he's not like he's a defensive stopper. So if he's not really scoring on offense, he's not bringing you a lot of value on the court. I do think Max Christie, second game in a row, I think he's been at least an above average replacement level player, which is kind of all you can ask for from a Max Christie. He made 3 threes. That's kind of all you need. The biggest kind of thing that stood out to me, though, was Derek Lively played 19 minutes. I'm not even sure why we didn't get a chance to ask Kid that before the end of the press conference, or at least I didn't. He played 19 minutes. He was 4 or 5. He was a +3. Looks like he actually, I think, had the highest plus minus. Like the plus minus is everything. It's not. But again, 19 minutes, and the big thing on this team was supposed to be the big lineup. But now the big lineup is not even big all the time. So we're not even using that strength. And that kind of seems like a problem because if you lack shooting and you're not even big anymore, what do you do well?
That sounds like an identity crisis. Like, what do the Mavs do well? Again, it's only 2 games. But
a great philosopher once said it gets early late.
Yeah, but they haven't. It gets late early.
You know what I meant.
They haven't done anything in both games. They haven't done anything well like twice.
No. I mean, then Anthony Davis. Just real quick. Anthony Davis played 37 minutes. He had 27 points and 13 rebounds. And if you didn't watch the game and just box scored him, hey, Anthony Davis is back. That's what you would think. In the game, Anthony Davis was outplayed by a second-year player on the wing, Keyshawn George. That should never happen. This is Anthony freaking Davis. This was once a top 5 player. This was once a player that people argue was better than LeBron in the finals run. You can't be outplayed by Keyshawn George. It just cannot happen. So while I think Anthony Davis had a good game, like I was saying in the preseason when he was one of my concerns, we need Anthony Davis to be the best player on the court in nearly every game that he plays, or at least make it a competitive game. Keyshawn George was significantly better than him to be honest, on both sides of the floor. I think he outplayed him on the defensive end. Anthony Davis as a defensive player hasn't even really anchored the Mavericks defense how I assumed he would, again, when coming to cover the team. I've just been disappointed in Anthony Davis. I think the box score has been solid, but we're watching other players on other teams go for 40 points, 55 points, while having good defense and while leading their teams. And Anthony Davis hasn't done that. He's been a good player, but the good player isn't going to get the Mavs to the playoffs. A top 10 player is.
There's not really a way to sort of quantify this, but obviously I'm not going to compare AD to Wemby because Wemby is something. He's like a different.
We've never seen that before. Yeah.
But even Alllcity tonight was moving better than AD. It felt like he was able to get places faster. Obviously you can look at 2 guys running and determine which one is faster, but it just feels like AD isn't everywhere. You know what I mean? Like great defenders, it feels like they're just always. They just kind of appear out of nowhere.
He had some moments in the fourth quarter. He had a nice block shot. He
did, but there was also Marvin Bagley beat him on a pick and roll.
Yeah,
and it's like Marvin Bagley.
That's what I mean.
Dude.
There were moments, but it's not been consistent the first couple games for sure. That first half, he looked like
Marvin Bagley had 10 points today, and Marvin Bagley is maybe a second away from China. So Marvin Bagley scoring 10 points. It's an L. I mean, I'm just being Mavs fans. I really want to be nice about it, but I've watched a ton of Wizards games. Marvin Bagley is almost out the NBA. 10 points? It's just unacceptable.
Yeah, the Wizards centers combined for 24 points tonight on 9 of 16 shooting.
Not good.
They almost matched AD. AD had 27
on 9 of 19.
Yeah,
from the field.
And CJ McCollum only had 6 points in the game. This is supposed to be.
Oh my God! See, he was so bad.
Yeah, let's not talk about CJ for Bobby's blood pressure.
I don't even care about prize picks. That guy was bad. He was really. The Mavs needed more minutes from CJ tonight.
He's been horrible to start the season. And they still won the game, though. If you Mavs fans, please drop us in the comments. If I would have told you CJ McCollum would have had 6 points on 2 of 8 shooting and be a plus 10, would you think I was insane, essentially, before the game if I said that? Would just genuinely, please drop in the comments, yes or no. Would you think I was basically insane if I had told you the Wizards are going to win the game, CJ McCollum is going to be a plus 10, and he's going to shoot 2 for 8 in the game?
It's unreal. It's unreal. Before we let you go, you were in the room when Jason Kidd apparently said, quote, when it came to the fire Nico chants that were happening as the game went on, he said, quote, I think they have a right to vent. This is a different team. This is a new team. We're just getting to understand each other. We're going to keep learning each other. I would say be patient. But I understand the frustration. We all want to win. We all want to compete at a high level. This is a game of expression, and the fans have a right to express themselves.
Oh, my God. If they would have said that 8 months ago, oh, my God, things would have been so much better. That is actually a reasonable take, dude.
It is a reasonable thing to say.
Personally, I thought it was pretty solid. I mean, the First Amendment, everybody. Let's use it. He said, I think they have a right to vent, but let's just be patient. It's a different team. It's a new team. We're just getting to understand each other. We're just going to keep learning each other. Hey, basically, Patience, Mavs fans. That's what Jason Kidd is saying. I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying what Jason Kidd said based on this transcription that I'm reading.
Yeah, but in the same breath, he said, if you wanna boo, express yourself. Which that is, they did not say that last year. In fact, they said the opposite. They said if you want to voice your displeasure, you can do that outside.
Hell, they kicked out a dude who was chanting "Fire Nico" in the first game.
Well, yeah, they also kick people out. And I think they're still, I think that's still going to happen throughout the rest of the year. So even though technically he said that, I don't know if the front office is going for that. Yes, vent, but I don't know if they, the whole arena was saying fire Nico, so they couldn't throw anybody out and the game was over. But last night, I'm sorry, on Wednesday, it was a very small section in the 200 level. So that's why they could figure out who was doing it. Now it was over 100 people tonight. So you gonna throw out everyone? It's kind of one of those things. If everyone does something, basically if you ever been in the classroom, everyone starts talking, the teacher can't throw one person out.
That's right.
Because everyone's in trouble. So
yeah, they play like this again on Sunday. It's gonna be 10,000 people doing this on Sunday.
He knows sports. His name is Harrod Jr. He covers the Dallas Mavericks for us here at DLLS Sports. Ron, as always, appreciate the time and perspective, and we will talk to you on Sunday. My guy, I appreciate you.
Read the free article.
That's all right. Check it out. Let's take our final break here on the DLLS Mavs post-game show. More of your super chats, plus we welcome in our national NBA insider, Marc Stein, with his thoughts on tonight's game. All that and more coming up next. But we want you to join our family here at DLLS Sports. Join the over 34,400 subscribers. That's the easiest way you can do it. The next way you can do it is to scan that QR code that you see on your screen right now by becoming a diehard member here at DLLS Sports. Go to alldlls.com, click that diehard tab, and you can get the benefits of becoming part of the DLLS Sports family. And you can get a brand new t-shirt available right now to celebrate your Dallas Stars, as the Face-Off collection is available right now. You can check it out. And when you become a diehard member, you get access to our member-only Discord, 20% off our events. We've got tremendous content from all of our beat writers. You just heard from Harrod Jr. covering your Mavericks. Sean Nets. Wow, I got the whole names mixed up, tied together. Sean Shapiro and Sam Ness are covering your Dallas Stars. Also, Jeff Wilson covering your Texas Rangers. Alllll and Clarence E. Hill Jr. covering your Dallas Cowboys, who have a big matchup on Sunday against the Denver Broncos. Plus, you get your physical diehard card as well, made of titanium, vibranium, and gold. Very heavy, but also very powerful, because it gives you all the benefits of becoming a diehard member as well. So again, alldlls.com. Scan that QR code that's available on your screen, or go to the website, become a diehard member today.
There's the Discord, there's the free shirt, there's the merch discount, there's the events discount, there's getting able to read the entire website.
Oh, and check out the newsletter as well. We've got a fire newsletter that a guy, Alllll, puts together every single day for you.
And that's free 99.
That's free.
You don't got to be a diehard to get the newsletter.
That's right.
But you should be diehard anyway.
The Cowboys win Sunday? I can't remember.
Yes, they beat the crap out of the Commanders.
Oh, that's right. Otherwise, I was going to say sweet Dallas.
Yeah, they played
one to forget.
They played the Denver Broncos on Sunday. They haven't, check this out, they haven't beat the Broncos in 30 plus years.
I do want to correct myself. So earlier in the show, I said they took the worst quality shots that they have in 7 seasons. And that is true. I said, though, that tonight they probably took slightly better. That is not true. They took significantly better. Very, very high quantified shot quality. It just so happens that they underperformed their effective field goal percentage, underperformed their expected effective field goal percentage by nearly 11 points, which during the Jason Kidd era is their 9th worst shooting night. So they generated good shots and made them at a very, very low rate, to the tune of a bottom 10 shooting night in the J Kidd era. So not very good, man. Not great.
I remember 2 specific examples. Najee Marshall smoked a wide open layup. PJ Washington, who had a nice cut to the rim, missed a 2-footer at the rim as well. Just a couple of examples for inability to execute. tonight offensively in a number of areas. Let's go to back out to the American Airlines Center once again and welcome in dapper Marc Stein. You can find him on the Stein line. Mark, hello, good evening. How are you?
Oh, Discord. No, I'm near the Wizards locker room, so that's anything you heard was happiness.
What? What are you doing in there? Are you a bandwagoner?
Whoa! First of all, he's a neutral party. He's a neutral party.
I'm in the same room that I do this almost every time, but it's much closer in proximity to the visitors' locker room.
Well, the opposite of joy is what Mavericks fans experience
Discord.
Tonight.
I heard Bobby say Discord. There is a lot of Discord right now.
I just
look. I said it Wednesday night, and I was not exaggerating, but this was a must-win game. As much as game 2 of the NBA season can be a must-win game, this was that.
He hit us with the guarantee too.
You did hit us with the guarantee.
Yeah, shows you what I know. I mean, is this the new Utah game? Tanner, please ring the bell.
We already discussed it. Yeah.
Ring.
Yes.
You're the second person to bring that up.
I mean, I'm really grasping for words here. But I mean, look, you know what? We were in Vegas, and I felt like I was being overly negative when we were in Vegas. But this is the stuff we saw throughout the preseason, and it has just continued. I mean, this defense had to save this team while it's in its current state, and it is not, because point of attack defense is a key element of defense, and that has not been good enough. But offensively, I mean, this is segment 4. I'm sure you guys have been talking about it for 3 segments. The Dallas Mavericks historically have not had trouble scoring the basketball. And this might be like what we've seen 2 games into the season. You know, I can't give you the analytics on it, but it can't be.
I can.
It's got.
The Correllustrator can. The Correllustrator can.
I mean, I was going to say, like, is this 91, 92, 92, 93 levels of offensive efficiency? Again, I have not run the numbers, but like it's.
I mean, look. I mean, the Mavericks in game 1 had an offensive rating of 92. Tonight they had an offensive rating of 95.6.
The 92-93 Dallas Mavericks, Mark, which won 11 games and lost 71, they finished dead last in the league in offensive rating at 99.5.
I mean, I was there. You go. I was just trying to be hyperbolic, but it's actually true.
It's worse.
It's worse. They
can't score the ball.
It was literally 92 in the first game and 95.6 in this game. And look, this is your segment, but I gotta say this: this team can't shoot. They cannot shoot. Klay Thompson can't hit the broadside of a barn right now. This team can't shoot threes. They don't take enough of them. And if you can't do that, you at least have to lean into what you're supposed to be on the other end, which is defense. And this team hasn't stopped anybody in the paint. They gave up 68 points in the paint to San Antonio. This time, they couldn't stop anybody from shooting the three. I know they were taking some garbage-looking three-pointers, but they were knocking them down to the rate of Keyshawn George knocking down 7 of 9 from downtown. Like, if you can't defend the paint and you let dudes outscore you from 15 points on the three-point line, I don't know where you find a middle ground to do any of this at this point. You're
outscored at the three-point line by 15. By what?
15. Yeah.
You commit 21 turnovers. And look, the Wizards, what'd they win 18 games last season? And had one of the worst 5-point differentials in NBA history. The Wizards legit last season were evoking memories of those really, really bad Mavs teams in the early 90s with their negative point differential. But they came in here tonight knowing that the Mavs don't really have a point guard right now unless Ryan Nebhard, their two-way, is out there, or Brandon Williams. And they applied tons and tons of defensive pressure and unsettled the Mavs and took advantage of the state of this roster. And again, it's like, you just go back to year 1 of Jason Kidd's tenure here. And that team made a Cinderella run to the conference finals. Now, obviously, a lot of it was because Luka Doncic was one of the 3 to 5 best players on earth. That's obviously a huge part of it. But another big part of it was you had 3 really good playmakers on that team. You had Spencer Dinwiddie coming off the bench as a factor. You had Luka and Brunson. And this team right now, again, we know the shooting is an issue, but like there is basic point guard play. They don't have it. And it's not fair to expect Cooper Flagg to provide it because he is listed as the point guard, but he's not really a point guard. And we all know it. And he would benefit so much from being able to play next to one early in his career. But
hell,
give
the team
Cooper
said
Flagg
it earlier this week that they're playing him out of position.
Give Cooper Flagg credit. He battled as hard as he could. He tried to salvage this thing, but I mean, again, this like Toronto's putting up a lot of points, and then you got to deal with the Thunder on the backside of a back-to-back, and Indiana's got a lot of injury issues, but we know they are no fun to play. We know Rick Carlisle loves coming in here and turning up the pay. Like, I mean,
where does the win come, man?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. The win ain't enough. I mean, we're at 1-4. We're gonna be saying chapeau. I mean, this was supposed to be a 4-1 homestand at the minimum to get off on the right foot. And I wish I could see chat because I can only imagine the Discord.
There have been better days.
Fire. Yeah, it's on fire.
Yeah.
There have been better days.
The Discord does not wait for the Discord. It is just, I'm sure it's right now. And I would love, like, I don't know. I mean, the thing, we another thing we thought about this team that was going to be really strong with the second unit and has been so far the opposite. And like, because you got to wonder, what is the move? What is going to be different on Sunday? What can you change? I mean, maybe I'm moving Najee into the starting lineup and just moving PJ to the second unit. PJ's been the best player so far, not just to give that second unit a boost. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm reaching here, but like tonight was just dire on so many different levels. And that's the truth.
Can I ask you to speculate a little bit here?
Sure.
So we've been trying to solve this mystery from a secret remote location down the street from the arena. D'Lo, 0 minutes played in the second half. As far as we know, he's not hurt, but obviously the Mavs front office signed this guy to play, and we thought he would start. J-Kid gave him 0 minutes. Like, where's the disconnect here?
I don't think there's any secret. Jason Kidd was asked about this post-game. There was no indication that there was any sort of health issue, but D'Angelo Russell had 1 point in the first half. It's not like he was detonating offensively. If he doesn't score, I think he's going to lose time. So I don't really know that there's a mystery here. I mean, but also, yeah, I mean, you're right. But look, this changed in the preseason. This changed after the preseason opener. They went away from D'Angelo Russell as a starter 1 game into the preseason. And again, we've said it, Cooper Flagg, his spot in the box score is point guard. When you look at the box score, he is in the place where you normally find the point guard, but he's only listed as the point guard. This starting 5 was conceived out of defense because I think the Mavericks are like, we got to lean into what we think can be our best look right now. But that's the thing. I mean, the defense hasn't played at the expected level. And the Wizards came in here with a lot of activity, a lot of youth, a lot of energy, a lot of pressure applied to the ball, and they disrupted the Mavs for the middle 2 quarters, and the Mavs couldn't recover.
They got to beat Toronto on Sunday.
Like, do overtime real quick.
Yes, and while we have our National NBA Insider Marc Stein here, we are now in overtime here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. We're like the Thunder going to overtime every game all of a sudden here on this show. We appreciate you joining us here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show as the conversation continues with our National NBA Insider, Marc Stein. You can download the Stein line at the Stein line, of course. You have to win Sunday. There's by hook or by
they
crook.
had to win to Kev. They had to win tonight.
No,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
This is the easiest game to play all year.
I know. I'm saying tonight's over, but I'm saying Sunday, you got to win Sunday because you mentioned it. Oklahoma City coming in here on Monday, and then you got to deal with the Indiana Pacers. There is no other way to say it. You need.
I mean, I said
to
in
win.
Vegas, I said in Vegas, I hate for the Mavs. I hated this schedule for them to have to start with 5 home games, and it's like it's living down to all the worst projections. Like project their homestand record after Wednesday night. I'm going to go out on a limb and say there won't be a lot of 3 and 2s in the chat.
No, it will not.
No.
Yeah. It's just,
I'm going to peel back the curtain here. All right. I told multiple people in my life I thought the Mavs would win tonight and lose to the Raptors based on how the Raptors played in the opener and go 1-4 on the homestand. I never, ever imagined that they would lose this. Ever.
so that just means they're going to beat Toronto on Sunday.
And maybe they'll beat OKC too.
Right. I say they've owned OKC over the last couple of years, so maybe they'll do that too. Mark, as always, we appreciate the time and the perspective. Enjoy your day off tomorrow, and we will see you on. Well, you never have a day off. Just get out. You don't have.
I'm actually coming to the studio. I'm actually coming to the studio right now to do more work. All our friends in chat, hang in there. I wish I had words that could lift their spirits. I really don't, but
You could give him Luca's stat line. I'm sure that'll cheer him up.
I hope they are hanging in there.
We appreciate you. We'll talk.
We're
to you
getting
soon.
through it together, man. That's all we can do.
See you guys.
Bye, Mark. So Sunday must win. I know we got super chats, but
Yeah.
I got the stat. So I said that roughly 30% of teams over the last 25 years, dating back to 2000, 2001, that season, about 30% of them have gone on to make the playoffs. Teams that start 0-3 since 2000, 2001, 29 have made the playoffs. 83 have not, which is about 26%. So
Yeah, you got to win.
it's getting...
What happened the last time the Mavs started 0-4 though?
The NBA actually canceled the season right at the end of the regular season. They still gave Dirk the MVP.
How many games did they win?
They won 67.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but there was
Everything else after that, we don't remember.
no
The dream's
playoffs.
alive.
There was no playoffs.
Oh boy. Let's get to our super chats. Super chat alert. We left off with yes.
El Patel,
El
I think,
Patel
right?
41. That's
Right
where we
here,
left
right?
off. Yes. With the $4.99 super chat. Luka arguably has a better defensive impact than Davis since after making a basket, the Mavs are able to set their defense.
Honestly, you make a point. You do make a point.
By the way, do you want to know what's happening in Los Angeles at the moment?
What's Luka got now?
So the Lakers are putting belt to ass to the Minnesota Timberwolves with 8 minutes left. It's 117-98. Luka Doncic in 30 minutes is 13 of 19 from the field, 5 of 10 from downtown with a smooth 45 on the Timberwolves.
How many did you have in the opener?
43. He's averaging
Nice.
44 a game.
Max Christie, though, he made a couple shots.
He did make a couple shots.
The Mavs, by the way, right now, you know, this is the Lakers currently ranked 29th in offensive rating. That is about to change. But
Ooh.
the Mavs currently are 30th in the NBA in offensive rating. There are 30 teams. The Lakers in 29th
Thank you
place
for the clarification.
have a 106.9 offensive rating. All right, they're in 29th. The Mavs in 30th have a 95.2 offensive rating.
What?
The Mavs are 11.7 points worse
Then the second
than
worst
the Lakers,
team?
and the Lakers are actually closer to 7th place than they are to 30th. The Mavs
For offensive rating?
right now, the Warriors have played 2 games. The Mavs are 28.5 points per 100 possessions behind the Warriors right now in offensive rating. So
I mean, in all seriousness, we have seen some this is Friday. The season started on Tuesday. We have seen some outrageous scoring performances already. We've already had a 55-point game from Shea, a 50-point game from Aaron Gordon last night. Shea opened up the season with a 45-point performance. Steph Curry went off for 42 in the same game that Aaron Gordon had 50 in. Luka had 43 in the first game of the season, and now he's got another 45 tonight. Like, we've seen some outrageous scoring performances to start off the season already. So
William with some good cope, though. Who cares? AD has more blocks. That is the cope. Obviously, is a joke. But I like that one. That is a good one.
I have a question. Will a Maverick have a 40-point game before Kyrie comes back?
Will a Maverick
I'm
have
talking
a
about
40?
all these 40-point
Yes,
games.
I say yes. That's my prediction. Yeah.
Is it going to be AD?
It has to be Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be Anthony Davis. Sheldon with the $9.99 super chat. It's simple. Two was worth more than 3. We don't have enough floor spacers, and the wrong players are taking the wrong shots. 80 has to play the 5 or be traded.
He is going to be a pretty tough guy to trade. That is.
I mean,
it's better to be early than late.
Yeah.
This is free advice to my fantasy football players. You don't want to be left holding the bag. Okay, if you got a guy that's playing really well, unless you're going to win the title, you should trade that guy if he's like 27. In the NBA, obviously the players last longer than that, but I would say yesterday's price is not today's price, and that is going one direction for AD and for Clay, frankly.
Yeah, AD's 3-year, $175 million extension just kicked in at the beginning of the season, and that contract escalates. It gets more expensive as the years go on.
Yeah, he's making like $600,000 a game this year.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Salary Cap.
No, actually $700,000 per game.
He's contract eligible extension at the end of this season as well, along with Derek Lively. I know Derek Lively is extension eligible.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting an extension.
But he is eligible for another extension.
I think so.
I believe that
I think
is
so because the last year is an option.
Yeah, his last year's an option, so he is extension eligible.
So
again.
if actually, okay, Tanner, erase that footage. If you're an opposing GM, you have the opportunity of a lifetime. The Mavs are floundering. You can come secure the greatest defender of his generation right now. He's extension eligible. You will have him under control for like 3 to 5 more years. All right? Take advantage of this opportunity.
There you go. T.O. with the $4.99 super chat. Shout out to Sports Guy T.O. Cooper is not the problem. I agree with that. He'll develop just fine, but let the kid learn he's not a point guard, not his game. That is restricting his development.
Indeed. You got to put guys in position to be successful. Unless it is basically, I'm not saying this to elicit laughter or whatever, like if it's a covert tank attempt. Because we said whenever kid played Giannis at the point, they were trying to lose. Like, it didn't matter if they won or not. The Mavs have said they want to win the title, and yet they're playing a 3 or 4 at the 1. Are we sure they're trying to win the title?
Yeah.
Okay.
They think this is the best course of action to win games. They're leaning into the idea that defense wins championships. Cooper Flagg is part of what should be your best defensive lineup. I don't think that should be the case of him starting at point guard. Again, when I say coming into the season, the starting lineup should be D'Angelo Russell, Klay Thompson, Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, and Anthony Davis at the 5. Yes, I know that means you have a surplus of centers on your bench with Lively and Gafford, but to me, I thought that would give you the best chance to win, given that you don't have a real point guard if you put Cooper Flagg in the line. Classic Saint Lever comes back in with the $4.99 super chat. Shout out to you spending all the money. You must have got paid today. Is post ISO possible in today's game? Are bigs down low to help the point guard have space?
And AD wants to play mostly through the high post more than the low post.
That's right.
And, I don't want to be too critical of AD because he is still a really good player. But whenever you have a big hanging out 15 to 18 feet from the rim and constantly in the middle of the floor, it's forcing the ball to the perimeter, not just the perimeter, obviously, but like to the edges of the floor, because he's taking over the middle of the floor, and his defender is too. Those guys are at the free throw line, and so if a guard or a wing is able to beat their guy, there's a 7-footer right there. There's not just one, there's two of them because AD is there too, and so he's just eating up a lot of space right in the middle of the floor, and that's the precious real estate you're trying to get to.
That's right.
Farhan
with the $4.99 super chat. Love Kai to death, but he's not fixing this. He's not a distributor. Our season is going to be over more than anyway. Game 2, and I have lost all hope. Don't lose all hope.
Don't ever have too much hope, but don't ever have the absence of hope either. That is not fun.
I mean, and look,
there's always hope.
To bring some level of, I guess this would be cope. It is the second game of the season. There are 80 more of these left. I'm not
a threat.
No, that's a promise, actually.
Oh my God.
It's rough right now. It is very rough, and I'm not, Captain Obvious here. But let's see. But yeah, it's bad right now. It's very bad right now. This is not the start that you wanted. Ozzy D with the $4.99 super chat. That's like Tanner saying we're short on Bobby Corellas as you're actively hosting.
We don't have any point guards.
As I'm sitting right here, or you're sitting there. Appreciate the super chat.
I am but a shell of myself, and if they lose on Sunday, I'm not going to be here for Sunday's postgame. Actually, I have a family event, but I hope they win on Sunday,
which means they'll probably win. Maybe we got to change up the juju.
My plus minus last year was like, if it's really good. If you want the Mavs to win, you should be happy. I'm not going to be here on Sunday.
Well, there you go. Kleb with the shout out to Kleb, one of our diehards. I'm assuming the 32-cent part is for Cooper Flag.
I like it.
532. Trade AD to build around Cooper, PJ, Lively, and send Coop to work with the Shaolin monks this summer. DLLS Mavrello.
The DLS Mavrello is a supporters club emoji.
Yes, I know. That's rest in peace, Mavrello. Thanks a lot, Mike Marshall.
Okay, please. All right. Don't blame Machine.
He literally said it himself. He was the one who.
It was someone else's fault. All right. Machine was just following orders. It's just tough, man. Because if it's, I don't know what team in the league. I don't want to have the whole AD conversation right now.
Yeah,
exactly.
We don't have to. Yeah,
I don't know of a team in the league that would want him. That's what I'll say.
There's probably one in Los Angeles who could use him and not have to trade the other guy that they got.
Maybe they'll trade LeBron for AD.
Henry Diesel 23 with the $4.99 super chat. Damn, kid can't coach. Luka and Kai not here to bail him out.
I disagree.
I do disagree with that a little bit.
Yeah, generally and specifically and contextually and everything. But we'll see. I mean, this is his hardest job by far. And so if the
and
Mavs,
that's saying something after what he did last year.
Yeah, but I mean, if the Mavs fail this season and it's not looking great right now, then yeah, that is definitely a reflection on him. But I think he's succeeded quite a bit here before Kyrie, and obviously not without Luka, but without Kyrie he has.
The job he did after February 1st last year was a heroic effort to get them anywhere near sniffing the idea of making the postseason, given everything that team went through a year ago after the trade happened. Kid can coach, because otherwise that team would not have competed worth a lick last year after February 1st.
I do. I mean, I'm said it before. I'll say it again. I disagree with the decision to play Coop at the 1, and if that's a J-Kid choice, I disagree with all my
100%.
heart and soul with that choice.
Yeah.
But maybe 3 weeks from now, Coop is going to look like the next coming of Magic Johnson, and we'll just be like mystified. You know? So who knows? But I don't like it.
And if you're looking for the flip side of that, that would be it. Is that the more and more Cooper is placed in these situations, the better and better he will be as the season goes on, to where you can see him playing and it's thriving in these spots when he needs to. But he's going to go through significant growing pains, even as talented as he is. I mean, that fourth quarter, he was literally trying to put them on his back, trying to win that game, and almost did it. GM Ben, shout out GM Ben with the $1.99 super chat. When is the first draft show?
Darren Peterson's looking really good, man. I'm obviously partial to AJ DeBonsa, but Darren Peterson he's making his presence known.
Hey, real quick, speaking of Duke, you see Cameron Boozer and what he did the other night?
This is going to be a good draft, dude.
Cameron Boozer went off for 43 against UCF? Like, it was unbelievable. I was like, there's another son of a former NBA player out here balling. Cameron was
incredible. It's not a bad year to be really bad. That's all I got to say.
That's what Utah.
Luka's got 48, by the way.
48.
We're not going to talk about Luka every show, all right? I'll do the rant again.
Zion.
But he does have 48. He has more points tonight than 80 has this season.
Zion read with the $1.99 super chat. Do you think the next...
No, that's not true. Sorry. 80 has 49 points this season. I'm wrong.
Also, give it 2 minutes. Okay, got it. Zion read with the $1.99 super chat. Do you think the next Mavs MVP is in the league?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
I almost went yes because,
that's a really good question.
That's a great question.
I mean, they've played for what, 45 years? They've only had one.
One.
So I would say the smart money is no. That player's not in the league. Because on average, you're going to win one every 30 years. But I don't know. That's a really good question. Do you think Coop can be in it? I bet it, like, not right now, but like I think
definitively.
Yes.
You think he could be an MVP?
Can be.
Yeah, not if he plays the way he is right now, but like I think he profiles the kind of guy who can, because he's defensive and he can score and he can rebound and he can run the floor and he can pass a little bit. Like he can kind of do everything.
That's tough though, because Kawhi's never been an MVP. Jason Tatum has never been an MVP. Like, that's tough. You have to be a special two-way. Like, you basically got to be Giannis. Like, you got to be that level of special to be that good defensively.
Marc Stein just walked in the room and was like, "Why are y'all still on the air?" Is the
we're in
look he
overtime.
just?
We don't run from the grind, Mark.
That's the look he just gave
The
me.
worse they play, the longer we stream.
That's right. With that being said, it's time for us to go, actually. We appreciate all of you and your incredible super chats, your engagement and participation in our show tonight. It's been a rough start for the season for these Dallas Mavericks. But guess what? They get back on the floor on Sunday, and we will be right here along with you. Tip-off is at 6:30 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. Our pregame show will begin here at 5:45 p.m., 45 minutes ahead of game time. Our post-game show will be about 15 minutes after the final buzzer on Sunday. Our guy Bobby Curlo will be out on Sunday, so myself, Harrod Jr., and the greatest national insider in the world today, Marc Stein, will take you through on Sunday's coverage. So we appreciate all of you hanging out with us here. Mavericks fall 117-107 to drop to 0-2 at home to begin the season. Appreciate our guy Tanner making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. Shout out to our guy Harrod Jr. for reporting from the American Airlines Center earlier on in our show as well. That is our Mavs analyst, Bobby Curl. I'm your host, Kevin Gray. We are DLLS Mavs. We'll talk to you on Sunday at 5:45 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all enjoy y'all Saturday. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.